morning, everybody. It is Monday morning. It's just coming on 4:38 in the morning. I've been awake all night and been watching all we got going on, and it's just been a melt up since about 6:30 last night, just after I got that email done. Futures SPX right now, cash value is right at 56.3590. We're up 20 points. And that brings us into context about that because, yes, we are looking at another gap up. I haven't counted the gap ups, and I'll do it if I have to. But we are looking at a 20-point gap up, and 20-point gap ups, they don't close red. So there is absolutely no intention on getting into a down sell-off kind of day today, because 20-point gap ups don't close red. They simply don't. They go flat. They can close below the open, but they simply don't sell off. It is a very rare occasion that you do get one to sell off. However, just to point out, where are we? Today at 12 o'clock, and there's no context about this, 12 o'clock in the afternoon, we have Jerome Powell speaking. Now, again, another mention about this. Jerome Powell speaking has not been negative on the market for quite some time. So take that with a grain of salt as well. Jerome Powell will be speaking at 12 o'clock today. And we are Trump. We are up. So quickly run you through what's going on and where we're at. And again, earnings this week. Earnings kick off. The big ones today are this morning before the open. Goldman Sachs and the round trip revenue funder, BlackRock. Tomorrow you got Bank of America, United Health, Morgan Stanley, Charles Schwab. On Wednesday, we get ASML, Johnson & Johnson, United. Thursday morning is going to be the one where you get Taiwan Semiconductor. And oddly enough, we actually start getting some FANG this week. Netflix. Netflix tends to report the week after this, but we get Netflix. So Thursday will be an interesting setup with what it's got. Overnight, there was reports coming out with Apple. Apple, the revenues increased 33% in India, absolutely taking everything that China is weighing down on them off the table. Got a big gap up over here on Apple, not on the screen, obviously. Tesla, another one as well. Big gap up after having that crushing blow down below 242, right to the top of its gap. Big gap up over there on Tesla, up at 260 right now, plus 12. But got to give kudos to where kudos are. Those that are in DJT, and I've had a couple of you ask me about it. That's why I'm mentioning it to you. Trump Media. You are up 32 points, 22 points as of now. Massive overnight move on that shooting. You are right back to that big, really, really big 5850. It's a really big number, 5850. So do what you want. Me? Take the money. So leave you off with that. Let me get this off the screen and move on over to what we want to be focused on. And that is looking here just at the week to date, which is only a few minutes old. Futures, we opened up and went straight on down. Bam. And since then, we have just been climbing all night long. From 56.65, we're up here at 56.88. 30-point move. NASDAQ, same thing. Big move over here on the NASDAQ. We're up 130 points. Over here on the Russell, again, still steaming off on the Russell. Third gap up in a row as of right now. Big move up here on the Russell. We're up here at 2191, dropping down to 2170 overnight. 22-point move. And here is your YM, your Dow futures, having just gone fractionally nowhere. And then the Asians market opened up, which there's not much going on over on the Nikkei, not much over on the FTSE or on the DAX. Dollar is getting a little bit of a downside move. Here we are, boom. Since right around midnight, boom, straight on up. Almost a almost a 100-point move. 43.38, 44.74. So that's where we're at on the futures. Quickly, going over here with your SPX. SPX, looking at the 5-day, just 5 days, and again, 55.63. Proved it over on the previous Friday, proved it again on Monday, untested since that period in time. On Tuesday, 55.75. 55.75 was our resistance here on Monday. Support over here on Tuesday, support on that down sell over on Thursday. Again, 55.75, like I mentioned, being our downside target. Should we get a dip? And considering, again, going back to how this has been working, where are we? Come back here. We have been putting in a new higher high for the better part of 6 days, 7 days, 8 days, 9 days. Since July 1, since the beginning of the month. Every single trading session is putting in a higher high. And with the full moon not happening until this coming weekend, the window for the full moon is nowhere near open yet. So nothing whatsoever disallowing this to reach up higher than above that 56, 55, 56, which we got there at the middle portion of the day there on Friday before that beautiful little sell down into the close. Right now, with futures gapping up, we're right here, right around 56.35, 56.40, call it. And as you can see here, we had a little bit of resistance here over there on Thursday morning and sold it right off. Same thing over here. We had a little bit of resistance here on Friday afternoon. We got a dip before we got that move to the upside and then the sell-off afterwards in the afternoon. So that's where we're at as far as that goes. And again, really difficult to go out there and say that it is justifiable to start looking at getting long for a higher move for 5 points, 8 points, 10 points higher to the upside. IWM, gap up here Thursday, gap up here Friday, and this is our gap up that we have right now as of 4:30 a.m., 4:45 a.m. here on Monday morning. So you've got 3 gap ups, all of them above that, or 2 of them above that 207.21, and then your gap filling of the 3 coming down to that 203.69. So that's what you're looking at as far as that goes. And again, over on the QQQ, little gap up over here, but as you can see, you're not getting the juice on the QQQ that you were getting because the attention has shifted over there onto the small crappers. So that's what we got going on. Quick look over here on the VIX before we get going. And Mondays, the VIX always gaps up. It happens every single Monday. But here we are with our VIX, and we are not getting that much juice because, again, we are just trolling this 1255 that we love to sit here and troll. So nothing justifiable, nothing exciting, nothing to go out there and go absolutely berserk and crazy about on a Monday morning. Markets are up, markets are gapping up, and we're probably going to be looking at a green close at the end of the day today. So again, nothing at all to be aggressive about. JP Morgan, Citigroup, those have already reported. Those you can play around with. Goldman Sachs, BlackRock will be reporting later on in the morning before the opening bell. Goldman Sachs is really expensive. JP Morgan's half the price. Citigroup is 1/3 of the price of JP Morgan. So a lot of cheap ways to go over there and play the banks. Have a good morning. Have a great breakfast. Have a beautiful drive into work today, and I will see you in the chat room.